Hello, this is 6R and welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to be reviewing whether Esea is worth the money for an average player. A little bit of a disclaimer first of all. I'm going to be looking at it from the perspective of an above average player, and I understand and appreciate that not everybody is going to be as fortunate as me, and perhaps the subscription fee for Esea would be a considerable expense to them. However, this is from my perspective and reflects my views on whether it's worth paying for a player in my position. So firstly, I'm going to look at why you want to play Esea, and in my mind there's two factors to this. The first factor is you aren't on prime in MM. So if you're a relatively high ranked player, I'd say DMG to LE and above, sort of above average, everybody knows that these ranks are full to the brink of spin botters, and even in prime it's got its fair amount of questionable players. So paying to play on hack secure servers, I guess, would be a plus for anybody, right? Wrong. The second factor included in your reason for playing is, are you playing for fun, are you playing to improve, or are you playing to win? Well, if you happen to be playing for the former two reasons, you might get a bit of a surprise when you hop onto the Esea bandwagon. The general consensus in the Esea servers is, if you're not there to win, you shouldn't be there at all. Now, this is just from my personal experience, but a lot of players on Esea think they're the next Simple, and especially at the lower ranks, the amount of toxicity is just as bad as MM, if not worse. So I'm not saying every player is like this. There are plenty of polite, well-mannered players who'll encourage you and offer you help if you need it. But if you think that you're going to join Esea and all the toxicity will be gone and it'll disappear, it doesn't. It's as simple as that. So what you really need to consider is, are you ready to join a community whose only goal is to win? I'm not going to lie, it's a very, very intense environment, and you have to be thick-skinned to brush off the criticism and play as well as you can. So if you're looking for a very brittle, team-orientated medium, then I guess you can check this section off as a plus for you, because obviously it'd be advantageous. So I'm also going to look at what your subscription will get you. Now, there are two types of subscription on Esea. There's Esea Premium account, which is the cheaper of the two, and Esea Insider. So Esea Premium gives you the eligibility to play on Esea servers, which includes, as they say, an industry-leading anti-cheat, and also grants users access to league eligibility, which is basically a series of rank ladders on a number of different servers. For example, 1v1 pistol servers that you can play against other players and get ranked on, and your rank will show on your profile for that specific server. Along with this, you get 2 free alias changes per month, and you can get all of this for $6.95 or £5.58 before tax per month. So basically, I think it's very reasonably priced, considering it's guaranteed that I won't get matched with hackers. So in my opinion, Esea Premium is worth the money. However, the Insider account, in my opinion, isn't personally a solid investment. As you can see, there are added benefits to the Insider account, such as reserved Frag Shack server spots, private forums and servers with pros, a looking for team ad placement, in-game recognition, an added 3 alias changes per month, double message storage, and free stat resets per month. Now, I don't have an Insider account, and personally the reserved Frag Shack slots aren't too much of an incentive. I manage fine finding and playing on community deathmatch servers. Now, you might say, those servers are full of noobs. Well, perhaps they might be, but the question is, do you really need to be playing against pros when you warm up and practice your aim? In my case, I don't feel that feature is necessary. So, considering private forums and servers with pros, as much as I'd like to play with pros, it's too trivial to justify paying extra a month to allow me access to those servers. Also, the private forums are basically just insider threads, and in my months on ESEA, I've not once seen an insider thread that I wish I'd had access to. Again, this is all just my personal experience. The in-game recognition, basically, it's pretty bullshit. You get a blue ESEA badge rather than a green one. So it's not even worth it, basically. It's bullshit. The alias changes, double message storage, and stat reset are all pretty pointless again, in my opinion. The only good feature of the insider account is the team ad placement, which shows up on your ESEA profile. And as I understand, it can be very difficult for players to firmly ground themselves in the pro scene and land a spot on a team. So that, I guess, is a plus, but it wouldn't apply to everybody. And it is for the higher tier players, so it's completely unnecessary in my case. Nevertheless, paying $14.95 or £11.99 before tax for a bunch of trivial features is utterly ludicrous. Now, by no means am I saying that it's shit and you shouldn't buy it. This is whether I think it'd be worth it from my perspective for an average player. Now, if you are the next Simple and you're going to be spending upwards of 10 hours a day on ESEA, these features might appeal to you, and you should consider it from your own perspective and what suits your needs. So, considering everything we've mentioned in this video, if you really want to play in a seriously more competitive environment with no hackers, and you can afford to pay roughly £6 a month, then personally I would advise you to get ESEA. I do really enjoy it, and the premium account for me is definitely worth it, but the insider account I wouldn't recommend unless you are serious about taking it to that next step and going pro. So I mean, it has been very short, but I'm just going over the essential factors that I'd consider, and I did consider before I started playing on ESEA. I just wanted to make it that bit easier for people to sort of understand what ESEA is about and what it's actually like to be on there. So that's about it for my review. I hope it helped you, and if you see me on ESEA, hit me up. Until the next video, peace. Woo!